This past summer I read 1984 by George Orwell, and will be showing you a tour of a similar oppressive government system that was run in the book. On March 24th, I will be departing Boston, Massachusetts and will be arriving in Astana, Kazakhstan at 3:45 a.m. on March 25th. There I will go to the Akka Hotel, where I will check in and survey around the sites of the Soviet time. On the first day, I will be visiting the Political Repression Victims Memorial, the Presidential Center of Culture, the Steam Locomotive Monument, the Congress Hall, Alger Correctional Camp Museum, and finally Aktyabar Cinema. In the Political Repression Victims Memorial, there are 3,750,000 inhabitants of the Soviet Union that became its victims in the period from 1921 to 1954. The Presidential Center of Culture is the synthesis of the spiritual heritage of the country and the cultural traditions of the people. It is an excellent opportunity to understand the past and the present of the Republic. The Astana Congress Hall was first known as the Shalanikov Palace, but now it has reconstructed to host international trade fairs. Also, the venue is designed to meet the latest market. Once the country's largest movie theater, the two-screen Aktyabar Cinema, was opened in 1967 to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Communist Revolution. The Steam Locomotive Monument is based on the eternal station in memory of the exploration of virgin lands, the symbol of wholehearted service to the native land, the great event of Soviet age. The Alger Correctional Camp Museum exhibits commemorating the lives of the women incarcerated here, who numbered more than 17,000 by 1939, when Stalin's terror was at its height. The entrance is marked by a striking black and silver monument, the Arch of Grief, whose conical shape represents a traditional Kazakh bridal headdress. Fragments of barbed wire and a watchtower are vivid symbols of this imprisonment. On the second day, I will be going to Kurchatov to take a walking tour around the town, the former center of Semipalatinsk test site. The Semipalatinsk test site was the primary testing venue for the Soviet Union nuclear weapons. The Soviet Union conducted 456 nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk from 1949 until 1989, with little regard for their effort on the local people or environment. The National Nuclear Center was created by presidential decree in May 1992. It is charged with conducting research on the peaceful use of nuclear energy and radiation safety, and is also responsible for evaluating the consequences of nuclear tests at the now closed Semipalatinsk test site. This is the house of Lavrentiy Bareyev. He was the longest-lived and most influential of Stalin's secret police chiefs. He was a Soviet politician, Marshal of Soviet Union, and finally, the State Security Administrator. On the third day, I will be taking a trip to Optino Pole Test Site. The Optino Pole Test Site was where the first nuclear explosion was made in 1949. On the fourth day, I will be taking a trip to Karkaralinsk, partly along the territory of the former Semipalatinsk test site through the mountain oasis Yedru and Ku. On the fifth day, I will be going on an excursion around Karkaralinsk to survey around the area. This is General Kornilov's house. He was a military intelligence officer, explorer, and general in the Imperial Russian Army during World War I and the ensuing Russian Civil War. He is today best remembered for the Kornilov Affair, an unsuccessful endeavor in August to September 1917 that purported to strengthen Alexander Kerensky's provisional government. Here is a monument of Vladimir Lenin. He was a Russian communist revolutionary politician and political theorist. He served as the leader of the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic from 1917, and then concurrently as Premier of the Soviet Union from 1922 until 1924. Here is a monument of Nurkin Abdurov. He was a Kazakh pilot who served for the Soviet Union in World War II and was killed in the Battle of Stalingrad. When Abdurov's plane was disabled by enemy fire, he heroically steered his descent to crash into a column of German tanks, sacrificing his own life to destroy his enemy. On the final day of this trip, I will be going to Karagandhi, a trip to Dolinka village, the former center of the Karlag Correctional Labor Camp. And then I'll be going back to Karagandhi to go on an excursion to the Karaganda Ecological Museum, the building of former Karlag administration. The old administrative building from which Karlag was run is now a museum to Stalin's victims. The Mamachigino Child Cemetery is where the children of prisoners of Gulag were buried. The Karaganda Ecological Museum allows people to see how it protects the population and nature of central Kazakhstan against ecological dangers by means of gathering and distributing ecological information, introducing resource-saving technologies, and searching for the new ways of solving ecological problems. On March 31st, I'll be checking out the Akka Hotel. Then I will head to the Astana airport where I will depart at 5 a.m. Then I will arrive at Boston, Massachusetts at 9:30 p.m.